頭の2台との差が急速に詰まっている。そうか、2台の並走はラインが制限されてしまうためにスピードが落ちる。わからなくなってきたぞ、尾形君。この並びは面白い。というと、棚からボタン持ちが落ちてくるかもしれないってことさ。
Because I'm still waiting for you to click that like button and to subscribe and the post notification button.
MF Ghost might be the perfect name for an anime that is trying to catch up to, and not only catch up to, but eventually match the same speed and overtake and legendary anime like Initial D. And that kind of seems like a very presumptuous sort of name considering what Initial D did. But weirdly enough, it seems like it's taken it almost 3 seasons to finally figure it out. Now, before we jump into the proper video, I need to give you the premise about what MF Ghost is about. Basically, it's the successor of Initial D. Now, Initial D is an OG anime about racing and toge racing. Like, they drift down the mountains and first person to get down or overtake. There's a lot of rules, but basically just get down to the mountain first. So it's kind of like Tokyo Drift in a little way, but kind of different. The thing about MF Ghost is that MF Ghost is a following successor, but the difference is that it's more different. It's more racing. It's more legalized. It's during the day, not a lot of night activity. And essentially MF Ghost is following an individual called Kanata Rivington, who's a dude who comes from England, but he also seems to be half Japanese, and he's there to kind of like join this organization that is run by people who used to be part of Initial D. It's a really long story, but basically he's here to race and his mentor is Takumi from Initial D. So you kind of get the story. It's his turn now. For a while now, this anime has been trying to be the proper successor that a lot of people who loved Initial D wanted. Because truthfully, Initial D is a really special anime, and I don't think that I'm talking for myself, but that anime really makes you feel a lot of things, especially a deeper connection to your car and just the relationship that you have because of your car, the people you meet, the places you go. It was a really special anime for its time, and weirdly enough, I watched this anime just a couple of years ago, and it touched me deeply. But also considering how the anime ended, it was a very somber sort of ending, but it had a positive light to it, and as such this inspired a lot of people to really love their cars. But it also inspired a fan base to wait for the next generation, and that is MF Ghost. And the thing is, MF Ghost is a little bit different from Initial D. It's like I said, it's more about commercial racing, it's more towards racetracks, but they're using cities and it's more legalized. There's cameras, people are watching, mascots, girls dressed up in really, I would say skimpy, but just revealing outfits, kinda. Basically just what you would think racing is nowadays. And because of the initial idea of Initial D basically having young individuals figuring themselves out, MF Ghost is a welcomed sort of journey. Again, we're there to support a youth find himself and go through a lot of trials and tribulations. But by the end of the first season, I think a lot of us were disappointed, because truthfully, this anime was more colder, more efficient than what Initial D was. And I think that that really just came with more of the legalized sort of scene. You were watching a bunch of Ferraris and Nissan GTRs just racing around, and this guy's driving an urban Toyota 86, and at some point, to be real with you, it felt like a commercial for a Toyota, and I think it kind of was, but it just felt fake and industrial. It lost that sort of edge, that realness that Initial D had. But for some of us, we kept on watching. And to be real with you, I think that it's because of a flaw. We had so much loyalty because of Initial D that we just couldn't give up on this anime. And to be real with you, it did have some elements that you could take from it, but it was no Initial D. And that was very clear. And it's taken a few seasons now. And here we are at season 3, which is actually pretty crazy to think about. But yeah, here we are at season 3 already. And things are totally different. I finally think it did it. I think that this anime that we thought was really cold and industrial found its essence again. And I realized this after episode 3 and 4. In fact, episode 4 made me feel something so much so, I just hopped on and did a short and just, like, I was just losing it basically. But it affected me that much. And the main reason why I was affected so much is that it gave me a feeling that Initial D gave me. It made me feel alive. That was something I haven't felt in a long time. And to be real with you, it's usually the music. The Euro beats are just like insane. They got a fan out of me. But with this episode, it oozed everything that made Initial D. And it finally clicked. They figured it out. They were able to blend this whole idea of new urban racing with that feeling that you used to get from Initial D. And it was awesome, but still really unique towards MF Ghost. It wasn't like copy paste, but it took the best elements that it could and updated them. and I loved it. And this is what brings me to this conversation right here, right now. MF Ghost, potentially, could end up really doing something that actually validates itself being the successor of Initial D. Because within episode 3 and episode 4, a lot of things happen. But honestly speaking, episode 4 is the main reason I made this video. It was perfection. Literally everything about that episode felt like everything you would expect from Initial D, but totally deserving of the MF Ghost title. Not only did you see these individuals have this, shout out to the voice actors also, not only did you see these individuals act in such a profound way, you felt their words, the cars were squealing, the music was blaring. Also, side note, the timing of the music was perfection, and it was able to really draw this element of these individuals. And usually we used to get that from Takumi only, but all of the characters had this belief in their cars, this relationship that reminded you about what made Initial D special. Because the thing about Initial D that made it so special, and there's so many things, but from my experience, was the relationship that you had with your car. And it taught you that it didn't matter what type of car you had, it just mattered that if you gave something to that car, hopefully it would give you something back. And based on what happens at the ending of Initial D, that was proven. Now, I'm not saying that it's exactly like Initial D, but I'm going exactly to the relationship of them with their cars. Watching these individuals talk to their cars, care for their cars, understand their cars inside out, and try to make the best out of every situation is the best thing about the races. And this is epitomized within episode 4. You felt it. Every person has this energy about their car, their love, and they're hoping to win. And in a weird sense, you feel like their cars don't want to let them down. As you're watching these races keep heating up, and you're kind of almost realistic sometimes about the results, but sometimes you're delusional. It ultimately just results in this emotional roller coaster where you're enjoying this race and you're just losing your mind and you don't know what's gonna happen, but you want to cheer for everybody at some point because they're doing something and they believe in themselves. And I didn't think I would find that element of soul within MF Ghost. And that's just taking the anime to another level that I didn't believe it can. This anime is just amazing on its own. Now, it is flawed in its own aspects, and we're gonna talk about that. But right now, it's about this anime finally achieving something that it wanted to do. It's able to stand on its own, but also it's able to do something that is kind of honoring its heritage. And honestly speaking, as fans, that's all we wanted it to do. And that's what it's doing. I mean, the episodes so far have just been thrilling, filled with action, filled with a bunch of Eurobeats music that I've just been, well, shazamming. I don't know what other people do, but yeah, I've just been getting all that music and just playing it, and it's so good. And the best part is that sometimes you see the music dates, like there's a song that's from 2024 or 2025. So it shows you that they're trying to get the newest Eurobeats that's still cooking. And that's something that's really cool because it shows that the music culture has not been lost. And that's spectacular to me. Now, the thing that I do need to be fair about is the negatives. The first thing that I'll say is that the races might be a little underwhelming. If you've watched Initial D, you'll get exactly what I'm saying. Like, the races, not the best looking, not the best realistic, but MF Ghost is a bit more of a step up. It actually really looks good. It doesn't look like a bunch of video games sometimes, but you can kind of look at the races and not be touched. And whoa, that's crazy. No touch, but you're kind of just gonna feel I'm gonna stop now, but the races still look good. I think that based on what they're trying to do and capture the essence of speed, they're doing a good job. But visually, because they're gonna be using a lot of CGI and things like that, yeah, it's not gonna win best animation of the year. So that's one thing. The other thing is that it does unfortunately have a lot of moments where, they're off the track sometimes, and it seems like we're going there, where they're gonna probably look for this dude's dad. That's another story, but basically he's got a life outside of racing, and that sometimes does kind of pull you out of the energy that the races do, because I think after the races are done, you kind of think to yourself, damn, now I gotta go through this guy like maybe finding a girlfriend or trying to find his family, which seems extremely insensitive because like dude just wants to find his family, which kind of feels like we shouldn't be saying that, but just get in the car, bro. That's pretty much all the negatives in terms of the anime. Also, if maybe you're just not interested in racing, then yeah, no. But overall with this anime, it's a really good anime because in terms of what it's doing visually, not the best, but still good enough to actually make you feel something. Musically, the opening and ending is okay. I think they're cool. They have a certain artist they've used a few times. She's pretty good. Like, I listen to her music sometimes, but yeah, nah. The music, you're gonna get it a lot through like the scenes and the actions, like through the episodes. That's where you should be like trying to capture the music, the Eurobeats is elite. So musically, I have to say that the OST, or if it's considered an OST or soundtrack, it's amazing. In terms of writing, I won't give it that high marks, man. They're just racing. I can't make it deeper than what it is. But in terms of this season, what we're getting is just this revitalizing injection, nostalgia and urgency and love and care and, well, the passing of a torch in a weird sense that feels good to actually see happen, and to actually see a successor of an anime try its hardest to make the past or its successor proud. And it's doing a lot of people who fell in love with Initial D proud as well. And that's just pretty much all I have to say about this anime. Congratulations, Initial D. I think you got you one.